I'm Susie Roberti, and welcome to Let's Talk Tail Waggers. I have my best friend with me today, so it should be a very educational show. But before I get started, I want to say thank you to my cameraman. Thank you, John. You know, BPTV is all volunteers, and you are more than welcome to come up and learn cameras or do a show or just come up and visit. It's a wonderful little corner of the world. It really and truly is. So now I'm so excited. I have to get this girl on. Susie's here.
I'm back. Well, thank you for having me on the show today. I know how important your summer show is for the animals, and so I feel really privileged to be here today to talk about your favorite show, the summer show, and it's so important.
It is, because there's so many little things that people, and it's not their fault, you know, if they know it, they will correct it, and it isn't anybody, I never want anyone to ever feel, you know, that I'm saying something to upset them or scold them or anything like that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I just want to get the little things out and that make a dog a little bit more comfortable. And the same as a kitty cat too, you know. But I always start out with water, 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 and more water.
This is summertime. This is summer, and it is so hot out there today. It's going to be hot from here on out, and it's so humid.
And we have to give them fresh water all the time, because it heats up, even in the house. You know, they need fresh, clean water all summer. And like always I tell you, if you have bird baths, please every day hose them out, because there is a disease, and I think do you remember the name?
It's in lakes and in still water. It's called Giardia, and it's a protozoan parasite that dogs can get from drinking out of creeks and streams
and bird baths.
And
it is sometimes very deadly for your dog.
It can be deadly.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, really. If you walk around the house, and if you have any little buckets or jars or whatever have water in them, please dump them out, because if there's a stray dog would come along and drink out of that, he would get very, very ill. It's just an important thing. Summer is really hard on the dogs, truly.
It really is, and I brought my little buddy. This is the crybaby here. Alvin Lewis is his name. Alvin. We yell for him all the time like a little chipmunk.
Yes.
But he's not used to going out very much. We don't take our dogs out too much anymore. Just especially in the summer. I brought him on the show today just so, you know, we could talk about a few things, but
he's going to be a crybaby, so we'll just talk a little bit longer.
Yeah. But I did bring his water, like you said. I carry a thermos of ice water at all times, because they get dehydrated so quickly.
Yes.
And a dog like Alvin, being light with light skin, they can get sunburned outside.
Oh yes, oh yes. And if you're getting your dog groomed and you bring them home, please keep them in the shade. I am sure most of you that get your dogs groomed understand that. But the short-haired dogs, all dogs, will get sunburned if you're walking them too long outside, or if you tie them outside and there's no shade for them. And getting dehydrated is like right now. It's just a half a day, and you'll have a sick dog. They must have water, 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 water.
They can have heat stroke so quickly, and you'll notice that he's panting because he's never been on TV before.
Scared.
Yeah, and he's kind of big for a lap dog, but
yeah, if he loves you, that's all
he
right.
likes to sit on mommy's lap. So, But yeah, they'll start to pant profusely, and then their gums get really red from all the blood going there, and their eyes start to look a little funny. But they can get into heat stroke, like you said, so quickly.
And they only sweat through their tongues. And people forget that. They don't have sweat like we do when we're walking, and the sweat comes and it cools us. The only thing that cools them is their tongue. So if you're out walking your dog and he starts to pant, it really would be nice if you could just pull over a little bit and just give him a second, you know, because they do. And their little feet are so very important. I don't think anybody realizes that if you can't walk on a surface in your bare feet, they can't walk on that surface in their bare feet. Why there is this belief that their pads are
like protective from heat, they're not.
They're not protected from anything. They're just a little harder surface for them to walk. Very important to keep them in the grass or in the shade when you're walking them, because when the heat comes and goes up their leg, up into their body, the sun is out, the sun is coming, and it's just blasting them and raising their body temperature and raising their body temperature. And it really and truly is so hard for these guys.
Well, I saw dogs the other day. It just still, it stupefies me because I learned this so many years ago, not to take my dogs out when it's 85 degrees and expect them to walk on asphalt. And the other day we saw, it was a little Chihuahua walking on asphalt with its owner, and I could see its feet were, you know, it was being burnt. And I told the lady, I said, put your hand on the ground. I said, your dog's feet are being burned. And she didn't realize. She just said,
she never
thought.
And it just really hurts me so deeply when I see the big old black dogs. You know?
The big furry guys.
The big one, the big black furry guys, or the little black dogs, because black, the heat goes in faster, stronger, and they really suffer so much more than a dog that's lighter skinned, but it's hard for them too. But there's so many times I'll be down at South Park and walking, and I'll see a big old mixed breed, you know, and he's dark, and I just think, I wonder if his mom knows, you know, that he absorbs heat faster because he is a darker color.
I think this show is so important that you talk about just the little things, because people don't really think about, like the brachycephalic dogs with the smush faces. They shouldn't even be outside in this weather. They have to be in air conditioning. They don't pant efficiently.
No.
So little pugs and Shih Tzus.
And trying to get their breath.
You want to keep those guys in.
Yeah, as much. But if you can take them out walking, we want them to get exercise, of course.
In the evening or morning.
Yeah, and enjoy the walk with them. You know, so often I see people running and their dog is running with them. And what really hurts me is that these guys adore us. And they would go anywhere, and they will do anything for us. Even Alvin, how he's suffering being here today. Oh, God.
he is suffering.
Yes, he is. Oh, my.
But he came.
But he came, and he's trying. But when I see these people running, and the dog is going, and the tongue is hanging out.
I saw one tied on the back of a bicycle the other day.
Oh, my God.
Susie doesn't want to hold you.
Here. Is he thirsty?
He has his own with him, but you just want to say hi. He wants to be the center of attention.
Well, that's very true.
This is how he is. He's a brat.
Where did you see this tied to a bicycle?
Going down a trail, and it was hot outside, and the dog was running behind, tied to the bicycle. Why would you even have your dog out in this heat, let alone make him exercise like that?
Oh, my Lord.
So of course I had to say something, but
Yeah, but I don't think they do it. People do it on purpose.
no, it's just you start to go out and it's nice out, and then within the hour it starts to get really humid. That's you've got to get your dog out of the heat. They really shouldn't exercise on hot days anyway. They don't need to be out in the heat. They can go in the evening.
They just need a walk.
Yeah, just a walk, not a
It's
marathon.
around wherever you go, but it isn't something that you're exercising them. It's just that they need to go outside. But if you walk slowly, your dog will usually want to be with you unless he's the type that pulls you or something.
Yeah.
But you were talking about their feet. If they go into a lake, what can get?
They can get what's called Giardia, and it is a protozoan parasite that will give them diarrhea and vomiting. And there's also an algae I was reading about that's deadly. So if you are letting your dog swim in a lake and you see, green algae, or get them out of there, and take plenty of water so that you can have your dog drink lots of fresh water so he won't be compelled to drink out of the lake.
Yeah, I go to a place, it's called Peters Lake, down Peters Township.
Is that where you go fishing?
Yes, and it's beautiful there. I've been going there 65 years.
But you're not even 40 yet.
I know.
How did that happen?
I turned around and went back. When I go down there and I see the people, and they really think this is lots of fun for the dog, and it is.
It is.
But the water isn't tested. It isn't posted that it is safe. There is a big sign that says no swimming, and that means people and dogs.
Because there's probably something dumped or algae or you just don't know.
And I mean, people fish there and take the fish home. I'm not saying anything bad about it. We call it the poor man's Canada. It's the most beautiful place, just to enjoy. But when I see people and their doggies going in there, and I think, what happens if his immune system just happens to be,
or if he has like a cut in his gum or something,
or in his pad,
and it gets in there.
Yeah.
But another thing that I've noticed people don't consider a lot of times is a life jacket. If you're going to have your dog on a lake, a lot of dogs, people think all dogs can swim, but a lot of dogs aren't good swimmers.
Yeah, they panic.
Yeah, they panic, and
you on a boat, of course. That's just common sense that you would have on there. What other things do I worry about for them in the summertime?
I think I don't know. Another thing that I think is that you should be current on your vaccinations with your dogs, because you're taking them out more, you're going on vacation, they're around other dogs at the park, and you want to make sure you keep up on that. And
well, we took our two little cats, and they're 2 years old, Lad and Banjo. We took them and got them their rabies shot and their other shots that they have to have. Well, it was almost 5 days that Banjo broke out in this, it wasn't a rash. It was actually, you go like this and the fur would come out. It was like a
from a vaccination?
Yeah. It looked like, what do they advertise on TV?
Like for psoriasis?
No, it's that thing that hurts you. Excuse me, my brain's going.
Yeah, we're figuring here.
We're figuring. It'll come around. Let me play the record. But anyways, they were very sore. But it took 5 days for them to start to surface. That he walked around the house and he would look up at you and so sad. Aww. And I'd say, "What's the matter, little guy?" And
he likes you so much. I'm trying to keep him from sitting on your lap. You're not going to sit on Aunt Susie's lap.
And I would say, "What's the matter, little guy?" And then we found out what was the matter. And he had hives. He was getting the hives.
Hives.
So we took him to the doctors, and he gave him a cortisone shot, of course. But if you're going to get your pet his shots, please do not go, we'll get him a shot and then we can go on vacation or anything like that. Please make sure that you're going to be home for 7 to 10 days.
That's a good idea. Don't do the shots right before you go.
Yeah. Exactly. And I never gave that ever in my life a thought.
I never had thought that either.
No, until he broke out, and we have
Oh.
an RV, and we sometimes, we go travel, and they go with us. And lordy, would that have been a mess?
Oh.
So I just thought, geez, I definitely want to share this, with my fans here, that please.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, get it even maybe 2 weeks, because it was really funny. He ate, drank water, but he just moped. And then all of a sudden, I felt something like by his spine. And then I went, oh, and then the next day, the neck and the tail. So it can happen, So now when we take him to get his shots, he has to get antihistamine shot
Okay.
first.
I've heard of that, yeah.
And then he'll get his rabies shot. But he didn't feel well at all. But it is important to keep them up on their shots. And my cats do not go outside, never will go outside. And we got them chipped.
He's chipped.
And that is wonderful.
It is. And, Alvin, now that you were saying that, you just reminded me, he's from the Washington Area Humane Society. And you know that we have a fund at the Washington Area Humane Society. If you're a veteran, you can go to the Washington Area Humane Society, take your DD-214 form with you that proves that you were in the service, and you can adopt at no charge because of our dog party that you and I promoted for 3 years. So please, if you're looking for a pet, I got Alvin at the Washington Area Humane Society.
And she has Ruby Jane.
And I have Ruby Jane and Harley Grant.
Grant.
And Hoppy Jean. They're at home.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit why he's nervous, because he's always in the pack. But I'm trying to get them out one at a time to, make him a little more secure.
So he has a little self-esteem and he's not so afraid.
Yeah, because he's a
it.
tough guy when he's in the group.
Yeah.
But right now he's not real tough because...
But this is called Pets for the U.S.
Vets.
U.S. Vets.
Pets for U.S. Vets. We, as of February, we still had $15,000 left in the account. So if you're a U.S. veteran, local U.S. veteran, just go down and
it goes for kitty cats.
Kitty cats, you can.
And they're spayed. They're
neutered.
They have all their shots.
All their shots.
It's a wonderful, wonderful organization, and I do believe that a lot of broken hearts met a lot of broken hearts and are happy now.
My dad sent him to me.
Yeah.
Alvin. I knew right away. When we went into the Humane Society, we were just down there for a party, and we weren't going to go in, and because I usually don't go all the way into the back anymore.
Yeah.
I end up coming out with more dogs, and so I said, well, let's just walk down and see what it looks like in there. We walked in, we turned left, he was sitting right there, and
there he came on with him.
He had a glow around him, and all of a sudden I thought about my dad, and I thought, he sent him to me, and you're right about broken hearts, meeting other broken hearts, and just they heal
becoming
us.
Yeah, they are. And kitty cats do the same thing. They're just a little bit more aloof. You know,
I read something about kitty cats that the vibration of their purring actually heals a lot of disease.
I would believe that.
Yeah, there's the frequency of the purr.
Yeah,
does something, but I'll get that info for you.
Yeah, but just them purring, sitting on my lap. Before I know it, I wake up and
I know it just puts you to sleep. This guy.
Yeah, and I can't handle a dog right now, and so that's why I got kitties, because the way I feel, God created kitty cats and dogs and fish and bunny rabbits for all types of people. And if you can't have a dog, then give a kitty cat a try, because you can go to work and they're happy that you left. My two this morning were kicking me out. Go away, go away.
Yeah, they're ready for a nap.
Yeah, they want to go to bed. And doggies is a special time, which I groomed for 40 years, and I know, I adore them and love them. but my hands aren't strong enough for me to walk them anymore, and I would really be afraid. I'm not allowed to hold babies because my hands are so bad now. But I have my kitties, and
they'll just jump right on you.
they just come, he jumps up on your shoulder when you're doing, dishes or whatever, lad. They're just hysterical. But I've said often, if parents want to try a pet with their children, get fish.
It teaches responsibility.
And if they feed the fish, and take care of them as much as you take care of a fish by feeding them and watching them. But if they do that continuously, for a length of time, then that kind of shows you if they want a dog or a kitty cat that they're really ready for that. Look at this.
He is being a spoiled brat today.
That's all right.
That's the way he is.
Yeah. But see, we're just showing somebody at home that sometimes it just takes a little. But he isn't like this ever. It's only because he's in a new place. And
he doesn't go for rides much. I wanted to get him out today to.
It's mean. And look at him panting. See, he's upset.
He's a little scaredy boy.
And he's beautiful. He's a beautiful colors.
You mentioned. Oh, thank you. I love this color. But you mentioned about different things in the summer. And you were a groomer, and I've been a groomer too all my life. But one thing, you want to clean their ears in the summer. They dig a lot, but this little fold right here, I don't think people think about this where their ear bends. And I know it's hard to get in there, but you would not believe how many over the years grooming, how many ticks I have found in this little crease right here.
And they know it in that little
flap right there.
Yeah.
They can get in there and a flea, but they'll be digging their ears, and you think, well, they're just.
And you check them, and you check them, and you check
them,
and
you don't see it. But look in that little flap right there.
And that is another good thing to say if you're walking in the park or coming home from a walk. The best thing to do is just sit down and love them and see if they have any visitors.
Because they will, and that's another thing that you want to do in the summer is put your flea product that your vet recommends.
That's a must.
Yeah,
that is an absolute must. When we first started grooming years and years ago, it was so dreadful for dogs and kitty
us
cats
too, with those dips and breathing.
And they didn't do anything because they went home, they jumped back on them again.
Yeah.
But now we have Advantage, and there's some Frontline.
Yeah.
Those are the two I recommend, and I will only recommend those two. Any of the other new ones coming out, I don't trust, and I won't recommend.
We don't know, but I've used Frontline personally on my guys for 20 years, and we have not had any fleas in 20 years.
Oh no, and they have it with the ticks too.
Yeah,
and the tick will just take a little bite and then fall off, and you don't have to worry. But those ticks and fleas carry more disease than you could ever imagine. They give them worms that people. It's unbelievable the stuff they can get.
So that's really important in the summer is the flea product that your vet recommends, and just
and circle your calendar because I'm getting very forgetful with my age here now, and I circle. I'll make a circle that I put it on this day. Calendar goes
I make
up.
Notes for everything.
Yeah, and I circle the next month, so that way when time comes, they'll get their flea medicine. Because you can bring them in on your shoes. Or your socks.
Bring them in. And we had a Basset Hound years ago. His name was Amos. And he was allergic to fleas, but they didn't have the good flea medicine yet. This was back in the early 90s, and Frontline wasn't out yet. But he was allergic to fleas. And I know you've seen that. If he got one bite, he'd dig.
They just brutalize, just brutal. Now, kitty cats, I found, very seldom are allergic to fleas.
And they have those big fleas. Have you noticed how big they are?
Yeah, because they're just all full of blood. That's why they're just so happy. But kitty cats seem to have an immunity to that. But a dog, can, lots of times, my customer would come in and say, "Oh, he has a hot spot," and I'd say, "No, he doesn't. He has fleas." And for some reason, I don't know where the hot spot came from, but I just go like this up the back of the tail, and they'd go, "Oh, he does have fleas. Oh, I didn't see them."
And it usually looks like pepper because the
Well, that's their poo.
the poo. Yeah,
Looks like little grains of black sand.
Hello, Aunt Susie. You're not going to sit on Aunt Susie's lap.
Aunt Susie would love to hold you, but he can't do it.
He runs up there in the worst way.
I know. Can you just imagine these
You
guys?
knock it off. You're a brat.
These guys bring you such entertainment and joy and happiness, and they're finding each day more and more that they do, for finding diseases and helping people, come out of depressions. It's just really amazing.
They do everything for us.
They do everything for us.
I don't hear everything that my dogs hear, and I can be home alone, and my mom will say, aren't you afraid to be home alone? No. I have 4 dogs, and if they hear something a mile away, they're out. Oh, Alvin, if you could just take a little nap. There's Aunt Susie. There she is.
Yes.
There she is.
Yes, the baby.
Now, see, now he's okay.
He wanted his 15 minutes of fame.
Oh, he got it. Wait till I tell Daddy how you behaved here today.
Oh, don't. He's just a doggy.
He's behaving
Yeah.
like a little nut. Well, he is a nut. He runs like a maniac at home. We have an acre fenced in for him.
This is what, if you go to the Humane Society, and he is a good boy.
It's just
that he wants me, and he's
You're not
just
going over there.
And the Humane Society has these dear little guys down there, and there's so many that need, a home. And
there are others, and every day they just get more in. And it's just more and more, and it's never ending. And
it is pit bulls, once again, remind everyone, don't get one. Just stop, and that way breeders will have to stop. Creating them.
They're being overbred, and there's so many in the shelters that people don't want because they're not trained. And obviously, you're not trained very well either, are you, Alvin?
No.
I don't train my dogs, and I'll be the first to say that. They do a few tricks, and we have just a couple rules at the house. You have to go to the bathroom outside, and don't eat the furniture, basically, and that's about it.
Oh, I love it.
So we call our house Hound Haven because they can pretty much do, what they want. Now, he'll sleep the rest of the day after he leaves
Oh, well,
here.
Certainly. Yeah. He's absolutely exhausted.
He's exhausted now.
Us.
Poor little thing.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think that's, we hit some important
we did.
Tips
that's
today.
The most important is water. Clean, fresh water, and shade if you're going to have them outside or walk them. Try to keep them off the pavement. If you can't walk on the pavement, they can't walk on the pavement. And guess what?
I know. I thought I saw a sign. But yeah, you're right. Those are all great tips, and I feel very thankful you let me come on the show with Alvin today and talk about that. And I guess he's talking a lot about it.
Well,
too.
he's talking. He's talking for all the guys.
Yeah.
They're listening at home.
Yeah.
Well, it's time to go. And thank you, Susie, for coming, and thank you, my little guy.
Little Alvin's very happy to be here.
He's going to be happy in a few seconds here.
Come on.
Like always, please remember your Humane Societies. They need blankets and sheets and towels for surgery, food, money, if you'd like to send money. They need volunteers if you would like to go down and walk the dogs. That's a very lovely experience. It really is. And I love you. And thanks from all the tail waggers.
Here comes the monster, the Tickle Monster. Just imagine what a little time can do for your family.